Welcome to Lume. This is a space for healing through metaphorical tales, created to support your emotional well-being and inner growth. Today's story is for anyone who feels stuck in the past, anxious about the future, or unsure of what growing up is supposed to feel like. You're invited to listen. Each tale in this series is carefully designed to support psychological balance using the language of metaphor. These are not hypnosis sessions. They do not interfere with your will, beliefs, or conscious thoughts. They are safe, supportive, and have one simple goal: to help you feel better, think more clearly, and reconnect with yourself. It is recommended to listen to these tales daily for at least 30 days. This gentle repetition helps activate the deeper parts of your mind, where real transformation begins. You do not need to concentrate or sit in silence. You may listen while resting, walking, or doing everyday tasks. The tale will still work, quietly, naturally, bringing calm, comfort, and emotional clarity. Let us begin. The Man Who Rented Childhood. There once lived a man named Kyle, a software engineer in the rainy city of Seattle. During the week, Kyle wore muted hoodies, stared at multiple screens, and typed clean, optimized code. To most people, Kyle looked like the dream: employed, smart, quiet, stable. But every Friday at exactly 6:01 p.m., he shut down his PC, threw on his old Razer headset, and vanished. Where to? To a very specific Airbnb tucked away in the hills, just outside the city limits. But this wasn't just any rental. This house was frozen in a legendary time, a time that felt exactly like the golden age of LAN parties and Mountain Dew. The walls were covered in posters of Naruto, One Piece, and The Matrix. A dusty Alienware laptop sat beside a chunky Samsung monitor. Next to it, a PlayStation 2, 2 Logitech controllers, and original discs of GTA, San Andreas, FIFA 07, and Tekken 5. There were steel shelves filled with collector's editions of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Halo 3, and Skyrim. A Nendoroid of Sasuke sat between unopened cans of Red Bull and Pringles. And in the fridge, Monster Energy, instant ramen, and a suspiciously old pack of Pocky Sticks. This wasn't just a nostalgic trip, it was a shrine. Every weekend, Kyle would drop ranked in League of Legends, replay the Half-Life 2 campaign, watch old ESL Counter-Strike tournament replays, and wear the same Dragon Ball hoodie he bought in high school. He called it his respawn point. No Slack, no emails, no responsibilities. Just the hum of cooling fans, the clack of mechanical keys, and the comfort of pixels that never judged him. And then, like clockwork, on Sunday at 11:45 p.m., he'd log out, unplug, and head back to real life. He told no one. One Saturday, as Kyle stood on the back porch sipping a cold Monster and watching neighborhood teens play basketball, a voice called out, "Hey, do you live here?" He turned. A kid, maybe 12, wearing a Minecraft creeper hoodie and holding a Nintendo Switch, stood on the sidewalk. "Just on weekends," Kyle said, offering a smile. The boy squinted. "Is this a gaming house or something?" Kyle chuckled. "Kind of. It's where I come to remember, when the game was just fun." The kid nodded slowly. My friends and I built a LAN room in the garage. Want to see?" Kyle paused. Then he followed. The setup was rough. Plastic chairs, cheap RGB lights, extension cords taped to the ceiling. But 4 laptops ran Valorant, and the air buzzed with that warm, chaotic energy only found in local co-op. "It's not perfect," the boy said, "but it's ours." Later that night, back in the Airbnb, Kyle sat holding a PS2 controller and staring at a note on the desk. "Please don't move the NECA action figures. They're part of the gamer vibe." Something shifted inside him. He realized this. He wasn't revisiting his own nostalgia. He was renting a fantasy, someone else's save file. Like a player stuck in tutorial mode, replaying the intro sequence over and over, instead of stepping into the next level. That next weekend, Kyle didn't book the house. He built a new PC rig. He invited 2 old gaming buddies for a sleepover LAN night. He dug out his sketch pad and started designing his own indie game. He even went out for coffee with a woman who once beat him in Overwatch. Not because he stopped loving the past, but because he was ready to stop living in spectator mode and start playing again, on his own terms. Not a simulation of the golden days, a sandbox for something better. A place where he could respawn, not to escape life, but to rebuild it. Reflection. This is a tale about the quiet courage it takes to grow, not by erasing the past, but by honoring it while choosing to move forward. Kyle didn't reject childhood. He learned to stop clinging to someone else's version of comfort. Instead, he began creating a life that reflected who he was becoming. This shift, from replaying to rebuilding, is a powerful metaphor for healing. Sometimes, we find ourselves stuck in patterns that once gave us safety, joy, or identity. But when those patterns no longer fit, holding on too tightly can keep us from evolving. Growing up doesn't mean letting go of joy. It means updating what joy looks like today. This tale reminds us that we don't need to abandon the child within us. We simply need to invite that child to come along as we build something new, something meaningful, something fully ours. Practical exercises. Step 1. Journaling prompt, the bridge between past and present. Set aside a few quiet minutes today and complete these 2 sentences. One thing I loved doing as a child but no longer do is, what would it look like to reintroduce a version of this into my adult life, today? This prompt is designed to reconnect you with authentic joy, not as nostalgia, but as a tool for rebuilding present moment vitality. Think small. Maybe it's painting, climbing trees, telling stories, or building things with your hands. Then imagine how that joy could evolve with you now, at your current stage of life. This kind of reflective journaling is used in narrative therapy to help people reconnect with lost or overlooked parts of themselves, gently integrating the past into the present. Step 2. Gentle visualization. The room you build yourself. If you're in a quiet space, let's take a short journey inward. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. Again. Slowly. And once more. Now, imagine walking down a soft path through the woods. Leaves crunch beneath your feet. The light is gentle, the air cool but comforting. Soon, you come across a clearing. In the middle is a small structure, not a house you recognize, but one you feel you've always known. Step inside. The space is simple: wooden walls, a window letting in golden afternoon light. But this room is yours. On one shelf, a few objects from your childhood rest: a drawing, a toy, a favorite book. You don't live here, but you visit often. And this time, you notice something new: tools, art supplies, music, plans for things you want to build or try. Let yourself wander. What's on the table? What are you building? Who might you invite into this space? Feel the warmth of the room. It's not perfect, but it's alive. And it's real. Take a slow breath in and out. When you're ready, return to the present moment, bringing a piece of that room with you. You don't have to live in the past. You get to carry what matters forward. You get to build your own version of wonder. If this tale resonated with you, consider listening again tomorrow, or even for the next 30 days. These metaphorical stories are more than words. They are tools, subtle, safe, and powerful, designed to help you reconnect with the parts of you that may have been forgotten or paused. Let the tale settle in your mind. Let the imagery stay with you. And most of all, let yourself grow in a direction that feels true. And if you'd like to support this journey, share this tale with someone who might need it today. Or leave a kind note to let others know how it helped you. Your path is yours to create. And your light, no matter how quiet, is still shining. Until next time.